Hi everybody, Jean back with more odds and ends from Mars. Hope you're all doing well. Water, structures, ruins and wreckage in Elysium Planitia on Mars. Also in this video I'll be showing you similar anomalies and artifacts I've found in other high-rise photographs. So let's check these out. We'll be analyzing this high-rise photograph called Enigmatic Terrain in Elysium Planitia. I'll include the link to this page in the description below. This photograph was acquired on the 15th of May 2014 at a resolution of 25 centimeters per pixel, and as usual I'll be showing you images cropped from the high-res JP2 black and white map projected file. Here's a crop from the low-res JPEG, give you an idea of the geology in this area we'll be analyzing. It's located near the equator once again, 1 degree 4 minutes 48 north by 168 degrees 54 minutes east. This is the area we're analyzing, very close to the other high-rise that we analyzed in the previous video, a couple of kilometers to the northeast. So I'll be showing you what looks like water seepage up through to the surface, running down and making the sand moist and darker in color. So let's check out the first craft or wreckage that I found. It's right there, sticking out like a sore thumb. This circular classic UFO-type saucer craft, about 12 meters in diameter. Close to it another what looks like either a structure or more wreckage. So let's zoom in on this object, and it looks as if it's been standing on the surface for some time, partially covered in sand and dust. You can see a larger disc, about 12 meters in diameter, and then the smaller dome in the center. So very similar to previous artifacts and anomalies that look the same. So let's have a look at the first one. It's in another high-rise. There's the link. And it's also the classic UFO disc-shaped craft with a dome on top. Also about 12 meters in diameter. A larger disc with a dome on top. Check out the geometry between those two. And then the third one, found by my friend Saturn Arc. Another huge disc with a dome on top. This one also has a diameter of about 12 meters. So check out the similarity in those three. Could these be similar craft? Wreckage? We can only speculate. So let's quickly have a look at the other two discs. In context, there's the link to the high-rise photograph as well as the coordinates for Google Earth Mars. You can use the scale indicator to check how large these anomalies are. So we're just zooming in on that object there, and that's a close-up. The other one discovered by my friend Saturn Arc right there. Also the link to the high-rise photograph as well as the coordinates for Google Earth Mars. Have a quick close-up look, and this one's dome seems to be smashed and dented. Okay, back to this high-rise photograph we're analyzing, and another one of these huge triangular structures. Each side is about 20 to 25 meters in length. Got straight sides there, and the center seems to be convex, a little bit of erosion there perhaps. You can see 3 other sides, bit of symmetry in that shape. Also very similar to some other triangular objects and structures I've found. So let's zoom in on this one. You can check it close up. This area of the photograph has a little bit of interference in it. You can see from these lines. Otherwise, this photograph is really crisp and clean. So the other pyramidal structure I found, there's the link to the high-rise photograph. This is in Cerebras Polis. I hope I've pronounced that right. Each of these sides is about, let's say, 50 or 60 meters in length. So a nice triangular structure, partially eroded. Could this have been another pyramid perhaps? Another triangular object or structure I found. This was in a whole different area. There's the link to the high-rise photograph. And each of these 2 sides is about 25 to 20 meters in length. Look at the nice smooth surface we have there. Straight edges and some symmetry and geometry in that. Also looks like this might be a partially constructed pyramid. Yeah, you can see the apex of the ridge line running through there. So was this a pyramid under construction? Who knows what this could have been or would have been. Another triangular artifact I found in Renaudot crater. Each of these is about 200 to 300 meters in length. Also have straight edges and some geometry in that design there as well. Is this a partially buried structure or a wreckage? Can only speculate there as well. And another triangular feature I found. This looks like an area that's been carved out or mined. The one side partially caved in. Check out those 2 perfect edges, and there's some symmetry and geometry in this shape as well. And yeah, the sides measure about 210 meters in length. So it looks as if triangles are quite common on Mars. Some nice geometric, symmetrical triangles. So back to the current high-rise we're analyzing, when we're looking at this anomaly there and that one to the right. And I'd say this object has a diameter of about 8 to 10 meters. And along the center line we have this long, narrow, symmetrical oblong dome. And then off to the right, it looks like a piece of destroyed machinery or technology. This looks like a type of a drum. It's got a convex shape to it, and what looks like a pipe fitting coming off that one side, partially covered in sand, filled with sand and dust. And then over here, strange rectangular base with a little disc-like feature on it. And that's also about 10 meters in length. Another one of these areas with megalithic blocks with knobs or features on them. And this one's about 8 meters long. One there is about 8 meters wide. Check out these round domes or features. That might even be a round hole. this structure or wreckage, there's that classic UFO. So about 200 meters to 150 meters to the right, we have this structure. It looks almost like the top of a hangar, and it's about, let's say, 14 to 15 meters in length. And let's zoom in on it. Got a nice rounded feature in front of it with what looks like top of a craft, maybe partially buried there. And then, as I say, it looks like this could be an opening, this rounded side. Yes, so could this be a type of a structure or building or outpost? Is this maybe a landing site that's been cleared there in that circular pattern? Otherwise, just a natural formation, really strange though. And then these two anomalies, another one with a round dome feature on it, and this one's also about 14 meters in length, and the dome's about 4 meters in diameter. So could this be type of a ventilation opening over here? Is this wreckage perhaps? We're looking at another rectangular block with two smooth surfaces, and this block's about 6 meters in length, the piece that we can see. Also looks like there was a structure here that was totally destroyed and devastated in the past, as with many of these other areas. So let's zoom in on that block. Straight edges, right angles, smooth surfaces, and then partially buried. Another megalithic block potentially over here in the center of the screen, and that's about 15 meters in length by about 6 meters wide. And let's zoom in on it. Got a smooth surface here, partially straight edges, could be slightly eroded, and then could this have been another piece of the structure? And then signs of water seepage coming up to the surface and running down the sides of these mounds. Let's see, that's about 20 to 30 meters long, and at the white point about 14 or 15 meters. So this is a huge area that shows signs of some moisture. This is zoomed in with the contrast brought down a bit. This area is really bright, so there you can see the details more clearly, and typical water running down some sand. There's another piece coming out there. So this looks like quite recent flows. You know what you guys and gals make of that? Or could it be oil? It's very, very dark in color. But yeah, who knows, eh? Another pyramidal feature there. Each of these sides is about 10 meters. And on the one side, looks like we have a hole. Straight edges and right angles in that. More signs of moisture, of water perhaps running up or seeping through the top of this ridge line and running down this edge. So let's zoom in on that. And this is also quite a huge flow, about 60 meters long and about 12 meters wide. So plenty of water running down through the sand over here. So check it the way it branches out. This is near the equator, or on the equator, so could be ice under the surface that melted, or maybe it's a spring. So more water over here, signs of moisture, more blocks, and in this area looks like there was recent activity. So let's zoom in on this. That's about 25 meters long, about 6 meters wide. So it starts at the top of this mound and runs down and branches off over here, which is to be expected if that there is a rock. The water will run down here and then split, run past either side of this object there, and then a very bright block there, another block over here, and these are about 5 by 5 meters. So let's zoom in on them. We've got a rectangular block and a larger block here with this piece coming off of it like an L shape. So square on this one side with another square on that one. Smooth surfaces, straight edges. That area there, which looks like it might have been mined. Maybe that's an entranceway, underground entranceway. And that's about 5 meters wide, that opening, about 10 meters high. So let's zoom in on that. It looks as if this sand has been hollowed out and heaped up over here. Even that there looks like some type of wreckage. It's partially buried. Maybe something crashed over here, who knows. More huge blocks. This one over here in the center, for example, is about 15 to 18 meters long, about 12 meters wide. So let's zoom in on it, and in the center it looked like we have a hole, and then some strange features to the top right. Look at the geometry in that shape. More potential blocks being exposed here. Look at these straight edges. Nice smooth surface on this one. Let's check out these two blocks. About 10 meters long, 5 meters wide. Got what looks like a hexagonal shape to it, lying on its side. A really bright, smooth surface, and also partially buried in sand. We're checking out this block at the top right. That's about 18 to 20 meters long, about 10 meters wide. And what stood out for me was this area here. It seems to have been carved into the one corner. Look at that ridge line. Would have run through here. This geometric, symmetrical shape has been carved into the corner. So, I don't know what that could have been. And then more signs of surface activity, highly unnatural. You've got straight sides, rectangular geometry on either side of this larger area that seems to have been mined. We've got this narrower rectangle here, and some more on this side here too. This is about 50 meters in length, about 20 meters or so wide. But yeah, nature doesn't produce rectangular craters or pits or cinder cones. And added to it, we've got these two anomalies on either side. So is that some type of surface mining activity, like a quarry perhaps? It does look as if there's some debris lying around here as well. There's a triangular object there. Another weird looking artifact. It's a long, narrow, straight piece, about 10 meters long. And also looks as if this area shows signs of machinery may have worked in this area. Maybe this is a destroyed structure. Check at that piece, it's rather tall. You get the long shadow, so this is coming out quite high up into the Martian atmosphere. So the photograph's taken from the top. We can't really see how tall this piece is. It could be a metal plate. Even here it looks like a triangular arch. That could have been an opening, or maybe it is one. And this artifact in the center, and this is in another really low-res part of the photograph. So let's zoom in on it. It looks quite symmetrical with this shape on either side. Check that out, and through the center line we have what looks like a circular hole. So this looks like a geometric artifact, maybe some type of structure or wreckage. Also really low res, this part of the photo. Another destroyed structure or building there. This is about 20 meters wide, and these blocks are about 8 meters long, in the middle of nowhere. So let's zoom in on that. Got nice straight lines. These two triangular blocks are similar in design, and they've got straight edges, smooth surfaces. And then here, also a low-res part of the photo. It looks as if there was recent activity on this side of this mound. Maybe this object was located on top of the mound, and something happened, and this area was destroyed or worked with some type of machinery, and this object rolled down the edge. Or maybe this is some mining equipment actively working this area. So this object is about, let's say 15 meters wide. So let's zoom in on it, and as I say, low res, you can see 3 sides. What looks like a small dome or sphere in the center. Is that some type of craft working this area? Check that out. 2 straight ridge lines running through here, parallel to each other. And that does look a little artificial, and none of the other mounds have these ridge lines with this land feature that's been carved out. Rather strange. And then more signs of moisture or water seeping up to the surface. And what may be this type of a structure over here. Got a perfect arc to this, and if you look at the shadow, it looks as if these parts to it are all at the same height in this arc shape. It looks as if this area to the right might have been hollowed out. So let's zoom in on that. And yeah, this is about 20-25 meters long. And there we can see potentially more water is running down, or maybe it's running from there into this area that is hollowed out. Could this be some type of hangar with an opening on the right? This being the arch. A lot of water in the surface by the looks of it. Okay, so let's go over to Google Earth Mars and straight to that area we just looked at. Okay, so there's the area in which I showed you those perfect examples of megalithic blocks and structures with geometry and symmetry. And these are some of the anomalies I've shown you in this video. And also this is where that classic UFO saucer type craft is. And if we follow the purple line, I can quickly show you where I found the other similar craft, and they are very far apart. So there's one of these disc-shaped objects as well, with a dome and two smaller ones on either side. So this is in an area called Euripus Mons. And let's go over to the next one. Utopia Rupes. There's that one discovered by my friend Saturn Arc. Just check what that is. Oh, okay. Just comparing those two, and I found more megalithic blocks and wreckage in this area anyway. And let's zoom out, go to the next one. And Hydrotes Chaos. And this is where I found the other one. So folks, that's it for this video, and with that said, I hope you enjoyed it, found it informative and interesting. To my new subscribers, thanks for joining. Thank you to my regular viewers and subscribers for supporting me by giving me the thumbs up and sharing these videos. You can also follow me on Twitter and Facebook, and hop over to my blog where you can find all these images and information for your own research. So I encourage you to check that out too. Thank you again for watching. Guys and girls, I'll see you all in the next video. Bye bye for now.